Alright, the dust is settled. The match has been about over for 3 hours now. It fucking sucked when the match first finished, and it still sucks big time now, but I'm ready to do the player ratings. Honestly, if I'd have done this video a few hours ago, I would have probably given everybody a 0, because that's pretty much what summed up the night. 0. There was nothing you could take from this game. There was no positives. We lost. We were shite. We're not going to the World Cup. It's as simple as that. If you want to see my match review, then it is on the channel. Go ahead and watch it. But this is purely just doing a breakdown of individual player performances and giving you their ratings in my personal opinion. So I'm not going to talk about the game too much, just going to talk about the individual performances. And we'll start off with the goalkeeper, Craig Gordon. This summed it up for me. Interview after the match, he was asked, this could be the last chance for some of you guys to make a World Cup. And Gordon turned around and says, well, you know, most of the dressing room are young and they'll get another chance at it. Pretty much so. He will not get another chance at it. Craig Gordon, by the time the next World Cup comes around, Craig Gordon would be, 44? So it's just a shame that the best player tonight is the guy that's never going to get another chance at a World Cup, and it's through no fault of his own. I mean, this guy never even really got a chance at the Euros. If you think about it, it was David Marshall that played all 3 games, and it should have been Craig Gordon. So I just hope that Craig Gordon sticks around and that we qualify for the Euros. I mean, at least that would be something, but I can't see Gordon sticking around for another 4 years, and who's to say in 2 years' time he'll still be the best Scottish goalkeeper? Probably not. This is probably it for Craig Gordon, and it's a shame, because he doesn't deserve it. He pulled off 2 fantastic world-class saves in that first half. If it wasn't for him, you know, the game would have been over at half-time, although the way we performed, the game may as well have been over at half-time. I didn't really blame Gordon for any of the goals. I don't think there's anything he could have done, and in the second half he still pulled off a couple of decent saves. Nothing spectacular, but a couple of decent saves. Like I said, Gordon was probably the only player in a Scotland shirt tonight that deserved to be on the winning team, and even though he conceded 3 goals, I'm going to give Craig Gordon an 8, because I thought he was by far the best player that we had. Now we're moving on to the centre-backs. To me, only one of these centre-backs should have been playing. I think Steve Clarke got the decisions massively wrong. He went with players that I would just never have picked. Some of the players don't belong anywhere near Scotland. Some of them shouldn't even be considered for selection of the squad, if I'm being completely honest. I mean, for Mctomney to get into a Scotland squad, instead of a 23-man squad, you would probably need it to be like a 94-man squad for me to even look at Mctomney. But we're on to Cooper, defending for the first goal. I mean, he was almost the furthest Scottish player up when the ball got whipped in for the first goal. I don't understand it, man. Where was he? I mean, the back line were like all relatively beside each other. Then you had Cooper, who was up in no man's land in the middle of the field. Don't think he had a good game. He came off early for Henry. It was a poor performance for me. I'm going to give Cooper. I'm going to give him a 2. I thought he was pretty shit. Now we're moving on to Grant Hanley. He played Yarmolenko on side for the first goal, but I feel like it's harsh to completely put the blame on him, because, you know, to me, I don't know. I don't think the defenders. I think the back line should have been dropping back rather than trying to push forward. But technically, you know, he was the one that played him on side. Towards the end of the game, he got forward. He won a couple of headers, but everything went out for a goal kick. Didn't really create anything. All he did essentially was waste time. He did take a nasty knock to the right eye. I believe he was bloodied. And fair play to him. He got up, he took it, he continued. He didn't, you know, cry like a baby or go off. He played on, and I respect that. So, I mean, Hanley, not his greatest game. I'm going to give him a 3. I think he was slightly better than Cooper. Scott McTominay, he's getting a 0. What can I say? Scott McTominay, shite. Ukraine, that first half, everything came down that right-hand side where he was playing alongside Hickey. And in the second half, constantly in possession of the ball, gave the ball away, and he should have did better for the second Ukraine goal. I mean, McTominay's a big lad. He should have been defending better, but instead he left up to wee Aaron Hickey to try and, you know, win the header. It made no sense to me. McTominay's getting a 0. The guy's shite. He's not good enough to play in midfield. So why do we stick him in at the back when we've got players like Suter and McKenna, who's had arguably the best seasons of their respective careers, yet they don't get picked, and we pick Mctomney instead, a guy that's fucking shit. Right, a guy that is contributing to Man United being absolutely fucking woeful. Why this guy gets picked, I don't know. Aaron Hickey, shocking first half, but actually played pretty good in the second. I thought he was. It's mad, the contrast and differences between his first half performance and his second half performance. But the first half was so bad that it is going to drag Hickey's overall rating down for me, and I'm going to give Aaron Hickey a 4. Yeah, I mean, first half I thought he was absolutely shocking. A lot better in the second half. Andy Robertson, kind of the opposite to Hickey, was actually no bad. First half was bombing forward, was trying to create opportunities. Second half, he just constantly gave the ball away, especially towards the end when we need to get the ball forward, and he's losing possession of the ball, like wasting time. Just not good enough. Not captain material. Need to get the armband off this guy. I've always said that Kieran Tierney is a better left back, and I still stick by that. So Robertson for me. Second half he was probably a 0, but like I said, first half he did okay. I'm going to give him a 3. Callum McGregor got the goal, albeit didn't really know much about it. The Ukrainian goalkeeper basically handed the goal to us. The most impressive thing I think McGregor did do, though, was the running to track back and make a block. He managed to make a tackle, which would have put Ukraine 3-1 up. It was late in the second half. He tracked all the way back to get a tackle on before Ukraine could make it 3-1. I mean, I like to see that. I'm going to give McGregor, and he scored the goal. I'm going to give him a 4. I thought in midfield he was the best of a bad bunch. Billy Gilmore, big fan of Billy Gilmore. I think the guy's quality. Tonight he didn't show the quality. Tonight he showed pretty much nothing, if we're being completely honest. Billy Gilmore for me is getting a 2, and I feel like I'm generous with a 2. John McGinn, super John McGinn tonight, nothing super about him. Really, really bad. I expect arguably McGinn is the best player we have. I think overall quality, McGinn is probably our best player. And tonight, he did not play like our best player. He played like a shite player. He wouldn't have even been the best player in a San Marino shirt tonight. McGinn gets a 2. Dykes only got 45 minutes. Basically, it was long ball up to Lyndon Dykes. And even though he did win quite a lot of the headers, he didn't really do much with it. He basically ball up to Dykes. Dykes heads it into the Ukrainian defence, and they take care of it. I mean, it wasn't his greatest game, but was it really down to him, or was it down to the tactics? I'm going to give Dykes a 3. I thought he was linking up sometimes no bad with Adams, but Adams again played the full game, did have a chance in the second half, forced a decent save after the goalkeeper. I'm going to give Adams I'll give him a 4. Adams, he did try. Christie, I thought, was probably our most promising player in terms of an attacking sense. He came on for the second half. I thought he looked no bad. I thought Christie done a decent job, to be honest. I'm going to give Christie... Fuck it, we'll give Christie a 5. We'll give him a 5. Armstrong should never be anywhere near a Scotland shirt. I don't know why this guy keeps getting picked. Cost us a win against England. Was absolutely horrendous at the Euros. Keeps getting brought on when he absolutely does nothing. Why not give somebody else a chance? Why not give Lewis Ferguson a chance? We know what Armstrong offers. Absolutely hee-haw. So why not go with someone like a Lewis Ferguson or a David Turnbull? Somebody that, just give somebody else a fucking chance, essentially. Armstrong's getting a 0 for me. Hendry, I actually thought was no bad when he came on, to be fair. I thought he'd done a decent job. I'm giving Hendry a 4. And Steve Clarke, the manager, the guy that I rant and rave about, the guy that I think is great. Well, tonight, I've always said I trust Steve Clarke, and Steve Clarke we trust. Tonight, I trust him. When I seen the lineup, I thought he got it horribly wrong. To me, Mctomney and Hickey was an awful choice. I would have went with O'Donnell in either Suter or McKenna, but for some reason, Stevie Clarke didn't do that. He got the tactics wrong. He changed them at half time, and we didn't really improve, did we, towards the end of the game? I think he got the selections wrong, tactics wrong. He pretty much got everything wrong tonight. I'm giving Steve Clarke... It was the worst game in Steve Clarke's Scott. I mean, they saved the worst performance of Steve Clarke's managerial in charge of Scotland to save it for tonight in the most important game. I'm going to give Steve Clarke a 0. I'm sorry, he's getting a 0 for me tonight. Not good enough. I mean, just not good enough. I didn't like his selections, and not enough changed at half time for me. I mean, I expected us to come out and be so much better in the second half, considering how poor we were in the first half. But for the first 25 minutes of the second half, we actually got worse. If that's possible, we actually got worse. So there you go, guys. That's my player ratings. Gordon, I thought, was our best player, giving him an 8. Hickey, McGregor, Adams and Christie, and Henry was no bad as well. But for me, Mctomney and Armstrong, I just never want to see them in a Scotland shirt again. And Steve Clarke, we'll give him another tournament, we'll give him another qualification run, but this was a World Cup for us. This was for the taking, and we didn't take it. So very frustrating. Anyway, till next time, guys. That's my ratings. Let me know what you think down below. Absolutely fucking got it. Gonna go to bed now, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. Till then, peace.